Congratulations, pioneers. If you've been clicking that button for 5 years while people called you crazy, this video is for you, because everything they said was impossible just became inevitable. Uber just confirmed crypto payments are coming in 2026. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF became their #1 revenue source in 10 months. ISO 20022 compliance is now the global standard. And Pi Network? It's positioned at the center of all of it. You were right. The world is finally catching up. Hello, pioneers. I'm your host, Nathan. Before we go further, I need to greet the incredible community watching right now from Nigeria, Philippines, Vietnam, India, Kenya, Brazil, and every corner of this planet. You are the ones who saw what others couldn't. Drop a comment right now saying "Pi to the moon" with your country flag. Let's show the world how powerful this movement is. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you don't want to miss the moment we prove them all wrong. Now, let's dive into why you were right all along. Here's what just happened that changes everything. Uber's CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, went on record saying Uber will accept crypto payments starting in 2026. Not someday, not maybe, 2026. He said it clearly. They're building the infrastructure right now. They're working with regulators. They're preparing for mass adoption. And here's the part that should make you smile. He specifically mentioned they want crypto that works on mobile devices, that's easy to use, that doesn't require technical knowledge. Does that sound familiar? That's literally what Pi Network has been building for 5 years while everyone laughed at you for clicking a button on your phone. This is why you held. This is why you believed when they called it a scam, because you understood something they couldn't see. The future of money isn't just digital, it's mobile first. It's accessible. It's designed for billions of people who will never own a mining rig or understand what a hardware wallet is. You saw it coming. Uber just confirmed you were right. But here's what they're not telling you. This isn't just about Uber. This is about a massive pattern that's been building for 2 years, and it's all coming together right now. Let me connect the dots for you, because when you see this pattern, you'll understand why the next 6 months are the most critical period in Pi Network's history. BlackRock launched their Bitcoin ETF in January 2024. Everyone thought it was just another investment product. Within 10 months, it became their fastest growing, highest revenue product in the company's history. Billions of dollars flooded in. Institutions that spent a decade calling crypto a scam suddenly couldn't get enough of it. Why? Because the regulatory framework finally arrived. Because governments stopped fighting it and started integrating it. Because BlackRock doesn't move unless the path is clear. Now look at what's happening with payments. MasterCard and Visa both announced expanded crypto integration for 2025 and 2026. Stripe is processing crypto payments for major retailers. And now Uber, one of the biggest consumer-facing companies on Earth, is openly preparing for crypto payments. These aren't small startups hoping for adoption. These are trillion-dollar ecosystems moving in one direction. And what do they all need? They need compliance. They need regulatory clarity. They need ISO 20022 compatibility. They need mobile accessibility. They need networks that can handle billions of transactions without collapsing. They need exactly what Pi Network has been building in silence while skeptics mocked the closed mainnet. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you about the Uber CEO's exact words will make you screenshot this video and send it to everyone who doubted you. When Dara Khosrowshahi talked about crypto payments, he didn't just say we're thinking about it. He said they're actively working with regulators to make it compliant. He said it needs to be seamless for users who don't understand blockchain. He said it needs to work on smartphones because that's where their entire user base lives. He said 2026 because that's when the infrastructure will be ready. Now let me ask you something. What major cryptocurrency network is designed specifically for mobile phones? What network has spent 5 years building a user base of tens of millions of people who already understand how to use it? What network is methodically working through KYC compliance and regulatory frameworks instead of rushing to exchanges? What network has a mainnet timeline that aligns perfectly with when major institutions are planning to integrate crypto payments? You already know the answer. You've been holding it in your phone for 5 years. This is not a coincidence. This is not lucky timing. This is strategic positioning. While Bitcoin maximalists were arguing about decentralization and Ethereum was focused on DeFi protocols, Pi Network was building something different. They were building for the next wave. The wave where your grandmother uses crypto to pay for groceries, where taxi drivers in Lagos accept digital currency, where students in Manila send money home without paying predatory fees. The mobile-first, compliance-ready, mass adoption wave. And that wave is crashing in 2026. But here's what nobody's talking about. There's one partnership category that Pi is quietly building toward that would make the last 5 years look like the smartest decision of your life. And I'm going to show you the evidence that it's already in motion. Look at Pi's ecosystem development. They're not just building a cryptocurrency, they're building a payment infrastructure. The Pi browser isn't just a wallet, it's a full application environment. The developer community isn't just making games, they're building real-world utility apps. The KYC process isn't just compliance theater, it's preparing for integration with regulated financial systems. Now look at what Uber needs. They need a crypto that works seamlessly on mobile. Check. They need a user base that already understands how to use it. Check. They need regulatory compliance so they don't get shut down in every country. Check. They need a network that can scale to hundreds of millions of transactions. Check. They need it ready by 2026. I'm not saying Uber is partnering with Pi tomorrow. I don't know their exact plans, but I am saying this. When you line up what major institutions need with what Pi Network has been building, the fit is so obvious it's almost uncomfortable. It's like watching someone build a key for 5 years and then watching a door appear that the key fits perfectly. You know what Bitcoin did in year 5? It was worth $300 and people were still calling it a scam. You know what Ethereum did in year 7? It was fighting for regulatory clarity and trying to prove it wasn't a security. You know what Pi is doing in year 5? It's launching open mainnet with regulatory frameworks in place, mobile infrastructure ready, and a global user base prepared for exactly the moment when institutions need what it offers. The timing isn't lucky, the timing is intentional.
But people are saying Pi has been in closed mainnet too long. Other cryptos moved faster. Let me flip that for you. Let me show you what they don't understand. Fast doesn't mean right. Fast means you rush into problems you didn't see coming. Fast means you build technology first and figure out regulations later. Fast means you optimize for traders instead of the users. Fast means you end up like 95% of cryptocurrencies, dead, delisted, or destroyed by government crackdowns. Pi chose slow and strategic over fast and reckless. They chose compliance over speculation. They chose building real infrastructure over pumping prices. They chose positioning for institutional integration over appeasing impatient traders. And now, as we enter 2026, all those choices are about to pay off in ways that will make the skeptics speechless. When Uber announces their crypto payment partners, Pi will be positioned. When the next wave of countries adopt ISO 20022 standards, Pi will be compliant. When mobile payment adoption explodes across Africa, Asia, and Latin America, Pi will already have millions of users in those exact regions. When governments demand KYC and regulatory frameworks, Pi will already have them built. You didn't waste 5 years, you positioned yourself 5 years early. But here's something even bigger that institutions are doing with mobile-first blockchain. And when you see Pi's roadmap next to their timelines, you'll understand why Q1 2026 isn't just a mainnet launch, it's a vindication event. Central banks around the world are launching CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, digital versions of national money. And you know what every single one of them requires? Mobile accessibility, regulatory compliance, scalable infrastructure, ISO 20022 compatibility, the exact architecture Pi has been building. Now, I'm not saying Pi is a CBDC, it's not. But I am saying this, The infrastructure that CBDCs need is the same infrastructure that makes a cryptocurrency viable for mass adoption. And Pi built that infrastructure before most central banks even announced their plans. Think about what that means. Think about the positioning. When governments and institutions are ready to integrate blockchain payments into everyday life, they're not going to choose some anonymous, unregulated, mining-based cryptocurrency that only tech enthusiasts understand. They're going to choose networks that fit their requirements: mobile-first, compliant, scalable, user-friendly, institutionally acceptable. Pi spent 5 years building exactly that, while everyone else was chasing quick profits. And now the profit is coming, not because of hype, not because of manipulation, but because the world is finally building the systems that Pi was designed to plug into. The GCV conversations you've been having for years, they're not fantasy anymore. They're economic necessity. For Pi to function at the scale it's built for, with the partnerships it's positioned for, with the utility it's designed for, the price must be high. Not because we want it to be, because the math requires it. When a network with tens of millions of users integrates with payment systems moving trillions of dollars, when transaction volumes reach institutional scale, when liquidity needs match global demand, the value per coin isn't determined by hope. It's determined by mathematics, by supply and demand, by utility and adoption, and all of those factors are aligning right now. Do not sell cheap. Do not let fear make you give away 5 years of patience for pennies. You didn't hold through the mockery, through the delays, through the doubt, just to panic sell when the world finally catches up to what you knew all along. You were right about mobile-first crypto. You were right about mass adoption over technical complexity. You were right about compliance mattering more than speed. You were right about building infrastructure before chasing listings. You were right about everything they said was stupid. Uber just proved it. BlackRock proved it. The regulatory clarity emerging worldwide proves it. The timing proves it. The infrastructure proves it. The pattern proves it. We held, we clicked, we believed, and we were right. The world is catching up now, and when it does, when those partnerships announcements start dropping, when that open mainnet launches, when those institutional integrations go live, remember this moment. Remember when you had to defend your decision to people who couldn't see what you saw. Remember when they call you naive for believing in a mobile-first cryptocurrency. Remember when they laughed at you for clicking a button every day. And remember that you were right the whole time. This is your vindication moment. This is why you held for 5 years. This is why we built a global community while they built nothing but doubt. We are the pioneers. We are the ones who saw the future when it was invisible, and we are about to watch the world prove us right. You were right. The world is catching up. We won.